Hello, my name is Stan Yan. I'm a comic creator and caricature artist. You can find me at my new website, stanyan.me, and we're watching Groovey.TV.
Hey, this is Groovey. I'm here with Stan Yan here at the Breckenridge Brewery. We're talking about Mile High Horror Film Festival and your involvement and everything. Stan's this awesome artist, and you got to check his stuff out. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Right on. Thanks for being here.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all. Thanks for rescheduling this, because we were supposed to do this a little earlier.
Something about a flood sort of changed things. So tell me what you're all working on, man. You got a ton of cool stuff going on here.
Well, mostly what I'm going to be working on at the Mile High Horror Film Festival is zombie caricatures. I actually brought some samples of some things that I've been doing from the last convention I was at, an anime convention called Non-Descon. Nice. And as you can see, I've broadened my horizons. You'll see a couple of regular caricatures in here, as well as an illustration of a transformer, which I only do for this one person. Mind you, I'm not doing this on a regular basis. But what could be scarier than doing My Little Pony caricatures as well? So I actually created this brand new banner mainly for the anime convention, but I unveiled it a little bit earlier. It made its official debut at the Denver Comic Con, or not the Denver, I mean the Denver County Fair. Oh, wow. It's my Ponies versus Zombies banner. So I've got some of my celebrity zombies on one side and some of the pony caricatures I did.
Now, who would actually win in that fight?
I don't know. Well, so we had a scoreboard. So we got this whiteboard, and we ordered a bunch of. So I made this crossover T-shirt, which is a zombie My Little Pony eating a brain, and it says "bronies" across the top of it. And so I took that image and put them on these little magnets, and we put them up on the board just as a little tally to show how many pony caricatures I had been doing versus how many zombie caricatures I had been doing. And just to, kind of stoke the competitive fires within the convention. And in fact, we put out two separate tip jars as well, one for, zombie tips and one for pony tips, which I started last year, and I was inspired actually by the coffee truck that was at the Denver County Fair, because they had like 1 cup for tips for, I think it was like the Broncos versus the Raiders or something like that. And like, wow, what a great idea, because you probably get better tips if you've got someone who hates the Raiders or hates the Broncos to put them on either side. And it actually does work. People like go by my table and put tips in these buckets, even if they aren't getting drawn. They're not even getting a commission, just because they're like, oh, I don't understand the pony thing, or I hate zombies, and they'll just like vote in their own little monetary way.
And you actually just explained to me what a brony is, because my beard gets called brony-ish all the time. So, in case anyone else doesn't know.
Yeah, so bronies are male fans of the My Little Pony show. And I actually learned this a while back, because I put a Facebook post up and I was complaining about shopping at Marshall's and Ross, and how I couldn't find a pair of blue jeans at those stores without wanting to have an embroidered unicorn or something on my back pocket. And so Michael Prince, who's one of the guys that's the head of the what is that, the Cellar, what was it, is an anthology book. God, I just forget it. But anyway, so he chimed in and said something about being a brony if I get a pair of those pants. And so I'm like, what is a brony? And that's where I found out about it. And so that shirt for the bronies was sitting there in the back of my head ever since then. I'm like, oh, I should do a zombie pony that's saying bronies. And so this finally all came to fruition at the Denver County Fair last year, because I was sharing a booth with Mindy Galone, who is the head of World of Dice, who she and I have done a little bit of crossover with the Subculture comic that I'd been illustrating for some time, where some of my characters were wearing polyhedral dice jewelry, which her company makes. And so last year was the first year that Denver County Fair had a geek pavilion. And so I'm like, yeah, I don't really know if I'm going to do well in a county fair environment. So why don't I share a booth with another company that I think should go in the Geek Pavilion, and naturally it was World of Dice, since I'd already been doing a lot of cross-promotional stuff with them. I'm like, maybe I can sell some Subculture stuff, maybe they can, sell some jewelry, whatnot. And for whatever reason, on the Friday of the Denver County Fair, it was just really slow. The first commission I got was to do a zombie Twilight Sparkle. And my first question is, what is a Twilight Sparkle? And so Mindy is like, oh, I've got that on my phone. It's one of my wallpapers. And she's like a total bro. In fact, I didn't even realize it. She brought a bunch of buttons that were all just like these little cutie marks on My Little Ponies that she started to sell not too long before that. And so I did that one. And so she's like, can you draw me as a My Little Pony? Not a zombie pony, mind you, just a My Little Pony. And I'm like, all right, sure, why not? I'm not doing anything else right now. So I draw one up, and she takes a picture of it, puts it on Facebook, and it starts going viral within the anime community, because she's like really tied into Non-Descon. And then she also clips it up in my booth, which is all zombies and then just this one pony sitting up there. And so before the end of the convention, I've done, probably 8 or 9 of them, one of which is also Frank Romero, who came by, and I did one of him. He, for those of you who don't know who Frank is, he's one of the heads of the Denver Comic Con. And he makes it his profile picture that weekend as well. So between those two things, all going viral over Facebook, I'm like, uh-oh. I'm going to be doing more ponies than I am zombies at the anime convention. So I'm like, I better start watching this show and figuring out who these characters are. Because, if someone comes up and says, I want my hair to look like, Fluttershy, I won't be going, oh, okay, let me do a Google image search for that. So, and the rest is history, because the pony thing has definitely picked up. Granted, every convention that I've been to, the zombies have just slaughtered the ponies, except for the anime convention. Now, the zombies made a good showing at the anime convention, and had a late surge on Sunday that I wasn't expecting, but they were still 7 behind by the end of the
Oh, wow.
Yeah, last year they were 10 behind, but I did way fewer of them as well. I think I ended up doing 36 commissions last year, and this year I did, I think, 65, I think.
Holy crap. Well, go bronies.
They are fun, there is a formula to drawing them, but they're what I describe as being hilariously accurate. And, the funny thing is there's not a lot of crossover between the zombie and the brony crowd.
I would be terrified to see what my brony would look like.
That's actually kind of why it works, too, because, they kind of have this animosity amongst the fans, and that just benefits me in the end.
All right, speaking of all the commission stuff, what are you all going to be doing at Mile High Horror Film Festival?
Well, I'll be mainly advertising the zombie thing, but I'm not going to turn away, irregular characters or vampire caricatures or My Little Pony characters as well. But I'm going to have a limited amount of space, so I'm going to kind of have a pared down thing. And at most conventions, what I've been doing is Dan Crozier, a local creator, and I collaborated on a Vincent Price Presents number 33. It's a story I wrote about me doing zombie characters of people at a comic convention, and this is a book that I give to anyone that gets a zombie caricature of themselves from me, because they kind of become a part of the story. Right. And so that'll be a promotion that I'll continue doing at the Mile High Horror Film Festival. And hopefully at some point down the line, it may not be till closer to the end of the year, with Dan's blessing as well as Blue Water Productions' blessing, I'm going to try kickstarting a version of that issue that I've drawn. Because, to me, it makes a little more sense that someone's getting something that I've also drawn, not just written, on top of that. Since, the reason that they got a commission from me, I like to think, is because they were interested in my artwork,
Right.
Zombie caricature artists are, nowadays probably kind of a dime a dozen.
You're the only one I know.
I've been doing it since 2006, and I feel like I'm still the best, and that's why people still come back.
That's probably why you're the only one I know, because you're the best, and why would I meet anyone else? If I can just interject, by the way, it's Dan's birthday, and he just left for Hawaii, and you better send us both postcards, and I'm serious.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I didn't realize it was a birthday. Happy birthday, Dan. Enjoy Hawaii. Please email me if you need any helpful tips, because I went there in 2007, and I'm like obsessed with everything there and the food and everything. So feel free to use me as a resource.
All right, man, so you can be able to watch some of the movies and stuff at Horror Fest?
If things are going the way I expect, hopefully not.
Okay.
I would love to go see The Exorcist again on Thursday, because apparently Linda Blair is going to be there. So if this is released before the beginning of Mile High Horror Film Fest, that may be a reason to come down and check her out, check me out. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll have a Linda Blair pony that I've drawn up.
Oh, I want to see a Roddy Piper pony.
Well, this is actually kind of the thing that I want to do because of the crossovers, because let's see if I can find it. I did a Walking Dead pony print there, you can see. So it's got all the Walking Dead characters as My Little Pony and such. It was an idea I was thinking about doing since the Denver Comic Con, but I just never got around to doing it until last Thursday, and then making a print right before the non-DESCON. So I'll have some of these prints available at the Mile High Horror Film Festival as well as some of my popular celebrity and famous pieces of artwork. American Gothic, Last Supper, Zombified. So I'll have a few of those available as well.
So awesome. So besides the Mile High Horror Film Festival, what's coming up with you and career, and what are y'all working on?
Well, let's see. I've got several different projects that are in the works right now. When they start, I'm not quite sure. I've been working with another local artist, Jolien Yates, on a post-apocalyptic car race adventure called Revelations, which is the website that I need to fix, which it got all fouled up. But I submitted that to Dark Horse, so I'm hoping they'll pick it up. We'll see. I don't know. If not, I may consider a few other publishers or self-publishing. Self-publishing has actually become a real possibility as far as even being, commercially viable and everything nowadays. So it's not like, I can get anyone else. I actually would prefer to self-publish than necessarily go with a publisher that I feel is either too small or doesn't have, a good distribution stream or reputation among, retailers who are going to be ordering the books. So that's one of the projects that I'm working on. I'm also working on maybe a collection of my 24-hour comic stories, which I actually hope to, if not release, have submitted to the printer by the Mile High Horror Film Festival, because that's also the same weekend as the International 24-Hour Comic Day. And this will actually be the first time I haven't participated in that since the inception of this event. So I kind of feel bad about it, and this may be my way of commemorating it, is doing that. But I missed the first two Mile High Horror Film Festivals because I was organizing the local 24-hour comics challenge. But alas, the Mile High Horror Film Festival won out. So I'm also working on a children's book, which I was inspired to write. I've got a toddler at home. He's 3 years old, and unfortunately, he's afraid of my artwork. So
Even the ponies?
well, he assumes anytime I'm drawing that I'm drawing a zombie, and he's afraid of those things. He says, I don't like that. I don't like that. So I wrote this children's book that is very inspired by Dr. Seuss. So it's a poem, it rhymes and everything, and it's called There's a Zombie in My Basement. And it has zombies, it has ponies, it has centaurs, it has all sorts of things that I like drawing, you know. And other things that I never really thought about drawing, like mimes and Sasquatches and things like that.
How about a Sasquatch mime?
Well, it's actually got a mime riding a My Little Pony, or no, a pony riding a or a mime. So that's you know, I had to do that to get it to rhyme, mind you. So that's something I hope to work on. And I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to do. I mean, it's just early phases of that right now. And then the one project that I've been meaning to get to really since about 2009 is a graphic novel that I've been writing about my best friend's battle with cancer. And so I'm hoping on getting the ball rolling again on that before the end of the year. I just need to flesh out the script and reformat it for comic format. And I've got the first 5 pages illustrated. I want to see whether there's a charitable organization that I would have the proceeds go to benefit, might be willing to come in early and help, you know, provide a little bit of publicity to it, you know, because I'd much rather be able to donate, you know, $30,000 to the American Cancer Society than, you know, $30 if I have to self-publish it, you know. So that's the project that I really would like to, I mean, evolve the project that's on the top, but unfortunately, because of the way chronology works, it can't be the one that I'm working on first. So, but if everything works right, hopefully I can work on all of these things concurrently, you know.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Well, you know, Groovey.TV's got a booth right next to yours at Mile High Horror Film Festival, so we'll be there all 4 days doing interviews with Rowdy Roddy Pony and everyone. This is Groovy. I'm here with Stan Yan, Breckenridge Brewery, Denver, Colorado, Mile High Horror Film Festival, and cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.